Parents strongly caution the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
All right, happy Monday fucking night, which is it's my Friday night.
Mine too. Mine too.
It's our Friday night because we're off Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But anyways, this man right here, he probably doesn't remember, but I do. This dude, me and him have crossed paths, and I've almost interviewed him so many times back whenever I was with Hellfire Entertainment, and it just didn't line up whenever I was with Hellfire. But a couple of years later, here we are. I finally get to sit down with this guy and have a conversation. Mr. Ted Axe, how you doing tonight, sir?
Good to meet you all.
Yeah, nice to meet you, dude. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Cheers. I'm up here in Canada.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah, how far? I knew you're from Canada, but how far are you up in Canada?
Well, I'm right near the States, actually, near the border.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Toronto, the biggest city.
Okay, Toronto. So, what's the music scene like, especially for like heavy metal in Toronto?
Well, Toronto's the biggest city for music in Canada.
Okay.
So, so I think we got the most clubs and the most scene, most bands, all that kind of stuff.
So you don't have a hard time getting shows at all?
No, although it is becoming more and more pay to play, like LA. Yeah.
Damn.
I know.
I hate that so bad. We've had so many conversations on this show about pay to play bullshit and how we think it's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, of course, right? Because they should be paying you.
Yep.
Exactly. That's the whole fucking point.
Yeah. Right.
You know, it's like, are you going to go to work and go work for free?
Exactly right.
No.
That's the standard. We got to get them in shape, though. You know, we got to tell it like it is on this show.
Well, hey, I'm fucking down. I'm absolutely down.
Yeah.
All right, Mosh, I'll let you start it out tonight. I know you've always got some interesting questions half the time. So,
Well, I mean, given the fact that this man's been on tour so much, I'm actually going to ask him a tour question. What is your actual dream tour bus? Like no budget, no worry about anything. What is it?
I'd have to say jacuzzi.
Ooh,
there we go.
Okay.
Nice choice.
Failing a swimming pool, we can't put a pool in the bus though, so jacuzzi will do. And private room, of course. Don't want to spend too much time with the band, you know, because I'm the leader, so I should have my own room.
Okay, fair enough.
A little room. Maybe a waterbed. That would be good.
Ooh.
Yeah, bring back the 70s.
Do they even make water beds anymore?
I don't think they do.
I don't know, but must be someplace online, right?
I mean, I had a water bed when I was a kid.
Right.
And, you know, I'm 40, almost 42. So, you know, I grew up with water beds and I remember them. But there's like, we've actually brought this up on the show before. And I've had bands like look at me like, the fuck is a water bed?
Made out of water.
You don't remember water beds? They're like,
Yeah,
I do.
Like, man, you didn't live until you fucking goddamn smoked a joint and put on goddamn fucking Black Sat or Ozzy Osbourne's fucking Osmosis CD and smoked a joint and laid on a fucking waterbed, turned the black lights on.
of course. Is it? It's a black light poster.
Yes, that was a damn every weekend thing. It was fucking either Ozzy's fucking Osmosis or putting on Marilyn Manson's Smells Like Children album and smoking a fucking joint and just laying on the fucking waterbed and riding the waves.
Well, that was before woke culture, wasn't it?
Way before.
Okay.
Way before.
You mentioned Marilyn Manson, so I had to check that one.
Oh yeah,
He a big Marilyn Manson fan.
Oh, I am. Yes.
Excellent.
But I mean, I am too, but not as big as he is. He's whoo.
You know what song I like, and I always request it from DJs when I go dancing, is Dope Show.
Dope Show's great. Dope Show's great for that. Like, I was a fan really way before a lot of people knew it because I'm from the East Coast and I live very, very close to Florida.
Right.
So for me, like, I grew up with like Portrait of American Family. Like Dope Hat and Cyclops and all those fucking amazing songs. If you guys have not ever listened to the whole album of Portrait of American Family, you're fucking missing out because it was an amazing album. Everybody raves about Antichrist Superstar, where Antichrist Superstar was great.
Right.
It was great.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to Portrait of American Family. That shit was so raw, and he gave zero fucks about anyone's feelings at all.
I still remember I was listening to a talk show driving around LA because I used to live in Los Angeles for 12 years. And it's just when Dope Show come out, and he had the suit, the implant suit on.
No, the titties. Yeah.
And some guy called up. He's like, red as rednecks can be, and from Los Angeles somewhere. And he's going, I don't really like the you know, when the guy's got women's breasts, and he was like all about that. So really back then he was causing a lot of controversy, even at that point, just with that. The androgynous, so to speak.
Right.
Thing.
I remember so many rumors about Marilyn Manson as a kid, but I never believed any of them.
Oh, like the whole removing his ribs to suck his own dick?
I haven't heard that one. But
I actually saw that one on Facebook the other day.
Really?
Yesterday. Yeah.
They still talk about that shit?
Dude, it's a 90s memorabilia fan page that I follow and stuff, and it just ended up coming up.
Wow.
Fuck. All right, CB, what you got?
So we all have that time of the day that we all like to sit around and, our best time for our motivation. What is your best time of the day for your motivation behind your music?
I wish it was night all the time. And I wish it was foggy outside and night.
Okay.
So very kind of damp, maybe late autumn, just before it gets cold. Those beautiful autumn nights where these foggy nights. And so yeah, I don't really like the sun, of course, because I am called the Count of Rock. That's my title. My title, as it were, in town. So people have called me the Count of Rock. So I tend to embrace that in a sense, and I don't like the sun too much.
I think we're both on the same page with my complexion and my color of my beard. The sun doesn't like me too much either.
Excellent.
I'm the only one that fucking loves to be on the beach. Like, give me this. I live on an island.
Are you forgetting your boy here? Because I'd rather be on the beach than where I'm at right now.
I always confuse you and your wife. I forget your wife is the one that likes the goddamn fucking disgusting snow.
We are not supposed to say that word.
I know.
Oh, what, snow?
Yes.
Oh,
That's a bad word.
okay.
That's a bad word.
Well, we get quite a bit of that up here. And it just finished actually about a week ago. So,
oh, see, we're now getting into the like 80 degrees here. It was a little chilly today, which chilly for us is like 65 degrees. Is fucking chilly.
Right.
So, for us, like fucking, it's usually like 80, 90 degrees, like 10 months out of the year.
Oh wow, what's the humidity like?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, like extremely high humidity.
Like walking outside and taking a second shower.
If you're not used to it, if you're not too used to it, yes. For me, it doesn't bother me because I've been here for fucking 25 years, so it doesn't fucking faze me at all. But anybody new coming into town or these tourists that come in, they're like, oh my god, they're like fucking drenched, like they just took a shower. It sucks to be you.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
All right. So, at what age did you get into playing music, and what was the inspiration that pushed you into wanting to be a musician?
Well, I auditioned for guitarist for a band, and they had a female singer. And the next thing you know, that guitarist started a band with his brothers, and they asked me to audition for a singer. And it was really a cover band. We played all the covers of the day, like Thin Lizzy, Queen. I'm so young, you see, this is what I'm saying. So Thin Lizzy, Queen. I gave my age away. But then it suddenly became Canada's first punk band. I kind of thought I was like the Malcolm McLaren of Canada. I had just been to London and I witnessed kind of the birth of punk. The Damned, were on the radio for the first time, and Sex Pistols were around. And so I came back to Canada, and we got into punk. And I used to call the papers up and said, "We've done this atrocious act at a high school. We've been banned." So that kind of catapulted us into punk stardom, as it were. And that's when I first got into music. Yeah. So it was like 6 45-minute sets of covers in Quebec, which is the French part of Canada. And then suddenly we were a punk band. So I don't know quite how that happened, but after that, we had to tour with the Ramones. So we kind of lucked out that point. And then the band kind of self-destructed.
As they do.
Yeah.
As they do a lot.
Yeah, that usually sucks. Like
With the temptations of stardom, as it were. See.
You know, it's. I was always told because I got into the music industry very young. I think I was 12, 13 years old. And I always got told that staying in the music industry and keeping a band together is more difficult than keeping your marriage together.
It's so true, right?
Because
damn.
well, if you think about it, in a marriage, you have one person you have to contend with. In a band, you have anywhere between 3 to, in these days, 7 or 8 other fucking people.
Yeah, right.
That you have to mix personalities and every musical influences and everything else you want to come together cohesively as one unit to create music.
Right.
And that is fucking hard.
Yeah, right.
It's extremely difficult.
Yeah,
which is where I tell people every day, musicians don't get the recognition or the respect that they should be getting and should have been getting forever.
True.
At one time, there was a golden era where musicians made, shit tons of money off of one album.
Yeah.
Way the fuck back in the day.
Right.
But now those days are over.
So true. Yeah.
Because obviously with the internet, it's now a level playing ground all the way across the board.
Yeah.
Which to some people are like, oh, it's great. We're on level playing ground to an extent.
Yeah.
You're at a level playing ground to an extent. But it's still who's got the most money.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because when you're touring, when you're playing shows, it's coming out your pocket. It ain't coming out the record label.
Right. This is
nobody else coming out of your pocket.
This is the whole thing about recoupable tour support. Where it used to be non-recoupable tour support. In the days of Kiss, I think it was Gene Simmons that's saying there'll never be another iconic act like Nirvana was the last one, kind of thing. And yeah, but I'm signed to a company in a distribution deal out of Australia called Golden Robot Records.
I know who Golden Robot is.
You know them?
I do.
Okay. I do. I shouldn't say anything bad about my record company, but
actually, I have nothing to say bad about them because they are spot on with their marketing.
Right.
I get emails from them almost daily.
Cool.
And they are very detailed as far as the artist, what they've done, what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't have to go dig anything up. It's all there. Their singles, their albums, everything's there for me to download. I don't have to, as far as media is concerned, I don't have to go looking for anything because they literally have it all lined up.
Well, that's cool.
So as far as Golden Robot, I'll interview anybody they fucking send to me because they are fantastic and they make it easy. On me.
Yeah. It's so true.
I've known about you for probably the last 9 years.
Oh, really?
Because I used to be with a whole nother media company called Hellfire Entertainment.
Yeah, right. I seem to remember them. Yes.
And you had messaged about coming on one of the shows, which I happen to be the host of. And then I don't know what the fuck happened. Somebody I'm sure Hellfire dropped the goddamn ball somewhere.
Right.
And shit got fucked up. Because I remember when you messaged now who were with 434 and I seen the message come through, I was like, Ted Axe. I know that guy. I remember that name. So I'm like looking at it, and I sent it to my assistant. I said, hey, get this guy on. Because I was trying to get him on at Hellfire and shit didn't happen. Please get this guy on the fucking show.
Oh, thank you.
Please make sure to get him on the show. And so here we are.
Thank you so much.
So when you was a kid growing up, what is your best concert memory?
You know, I'd have to say I have this whole story I sometimes tell on stage, and we do an Alice Cooper cover. So I tell this little story about Alice, and what was that I played hooky about 2:30 in the afternoon from high school, and hitchhiked down to see the Killer tour, which was happening at the local stadium, indoor stadium. Really kind of a small one. It was in the capital city of capital city of Canada, called Ottawa. And the roadies picked me up, like 1 in a million chance, you know, that the roadies for the Alice Cooper show would pick me up for that tour. And I got to see Alice from on stage on top of a sidewalk monitor, and met him. And on the way down, of course, I don't know if I can say this, but they did offer me something like an iceberg in aluminum foil. I was in the back with a dollar bill rolled up, and so what am I supposed to do with this? So you put up your nose, man. So Peruvian flake, as it were. So I was kind of numb by the time I got there. So that was the best concert I ever saw, and it was just it was a great time for Alice Cooper. He was still kind of wasted, which when he was at his best. I know that's not very woke to say, but you know, for an audience member, you want to kind of see some, you know, degenerate decadence on stage. I remember they had these bubble machines, which were just fan behind 5 bubble things going round and round. And the bubbles burst on stage, and he slipped. And back then, there was no security up front. You could go right front. So they started pulling off his jumpsuit from it wouldn't come off. But he was kind of wasted. He had his jumpsuit like right down his groin. He was not the same Alice that we see today, you know. But right. More power to him. He's lasted a long time. So he gave up all the booze, which is great. So still around today.
Yeah, we don't have many of the golden age rockers around anymore. I mean, there's a few. There's a few that are still around, but not very many.
Yeah, I did hear that Ozzy was going to be doing his last show in his hometown in England, Birmingham, and in a wheelchair, and he's only going to be singing some phrases, but it's sold out in 15 minutes.
I know, I've seen that. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this man has got Parkinson's.
Right.
He can't even stand.
Yeah.
So I hope y'all have a giant goddamn teleprompter and hope to hell he can remember how to fucking read.
Right.
Because otherwise, this is going to be a shit show.
Well, it won't matter to his fans, that's for sure.
Next, I want to know who's doing the set with Black Sabbath. Who's being the vocalist for Black Sabbath during their set?
There's supposed to be other well-known artists on stage with him. I'm not sure.
It's going to be basically a rendition of his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame introduction.
Right. Of course. So there's not too many around. He's one of them. Can't think of too many others. Manson still around from the 90s anyway. Yeah.
His new album is fabulous. Fucking fabulous.
Excellent.
So, if you could tour, if you're going to a whole world tour, and you get to put it together, and you get to choose 3 acts that you get to go with on this tour, who would you choose?
Oh, wow. It's a tough one because I'm not really up on new acts at all.
It doesn't matter. They could be dead, alive, old, new, whatever you want.
If you think that's a tough question, wait until my next one.
You guys are laying it on me, these questions. I have to say, let's see, it would be Alice Cooper, David Bowie, and Iggy and the Stooges.
We have not heard David Bowie, have we?
No, we've never heard David Bowie, which I'm actually shocked about.
Yeah, I am too. Like David fucking Bowie. Fuck yeah.
I mean, we've heard a lot, especially of your golden age musicians. But
Right.
David Bowie's one of the ones that we have not heard. We haven't heard Iggy either. That's the first time we've got that answer. So
That's strange.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry, you kind of like sparked both of our interests on that one.
hey, it got my interest real fast. All right, CB, you up on deck, brother?
All right. So, if you could tell our younger audience some of the things, some of the struggles that you've had to go through to get to where you're at right now, what would be probably the starting point of telling them a good spot to start?
To get into music?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to say, probably the best thing to do would be you have to suffer for style. That would be my number one thing. And it's kind of like me. I mean, I'm a bit crazy because I got this leather coat on, this huge collar in the middle of a 90-degree club. You know, I do my shows in this. I'm sweating my ass off, but I look good. And it almost seemed to me to be almost as important, if not more important than the music, that one should have some kind of attitude. Because attitude, you can have a lot of bands, but attitude is something you can't teach. You either have it or you don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like you Marilyn Manson, right? You know, you're a big fan. He's got attitude, right?
Yeah.
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 So then you see, I mean,
Most definitely.
He's got that motherfucker got enough attitude to supply the whole goddamn world.
this is very true. It's true. So yeah.
That's for damn sure.
God damn it, I spit my fucking drink out.
Well, you got to think about it. This man walks into Ozfest and is like, "I'm here to fuck shit up," and doesn't give a shit that it's Sharon and Ozzy, and it's like, "I'm gonna fuck up every goddamn dressing room I'm in. How much is it gonna cost me?" And fucking, they made money off of Marilyn Manson because he just had this attitude. He literally destroyed everything in his fucking path.
Wow.
And he had that persona on stage and off stage. Well, until now. But,
yeah, you got to be a bit of a troublemaker, definitely. You do want the police to, you know, look out for you along the way, so to speak. Then there's the thing about bands. Well, yeah, you got to be the number one guy, but you also have to be very supportive of people. I think one of the things I've learned is that you know, you can have a negative attitude in terms of having an attitude. You got to kind of portray that negativity in a sense, doing at least what I'm doing, which is kind of a glam rocky kind of punky thing. But at the same time, you got to be very positive to the club owners, the record industry people, and all that. So you know, you got to have that etiquette as well, which is something I didn't really have in the early days. Certainly, I was picking fights with everyone, including the press. And when we had a gig with the Stranglers, the UK Stranglers, you know, the authors of Peaches, that song Peaches, strolling on the beaches, looking at the peaches.
oh,
And,
yeah.
Right.
That got me strolling down memory lane.
Yeah.
Strolling on the beaches, yeah. And I remember we had to be more punk than they were because it was their North American debut appearance, and we had to steal all the beer from their dressing room while they were on stage. Didn't go down well with their manager, I can tell you. So, but I would probably never do anything like that now. So, yeah, but in terms of telling a young kid what to do, I'd have to say you'd have to stick at it. Certainly, I'm a testament to that. I think more than anything, really, you know. I just keep on going like an ever-ready battery that never runs out.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not bad, not bad, not bad.
All right.
So, if you could spend 24 hours with any musician, dead or alive, who would you spend that time with and why?
Oh, that one I'd have to say David Bowie. And
Bowie. Fuck yes. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Because he had the sensibility of this kind of creativity about him, and he always said something he said something once that always struck me and stayed with me, and with that was just when you're feeling comfortable, it's not that great. You should kind of be on the edge of just feeling a little bit uncomfortable about what you're doing musically, and then you know you're in the right place. And so he had the kind of artistic, creative, personality, which I always like because I'm a bit of an artiste myself, draw and paint and sculpt and all that. So that kind of sense of avant-gardism, and he always knew when to change his image, because he had the Ziggy Stardust thing, which was kind of rock.
Yeah, he did,
and then kind of switched it up a little bit.
I mean, he almost reinvented himself every album cycle.
I would say so, yes.
Which is something that I see, there's artists like one of my other favorite artists, Ghost. I love Ghost. I'm a huge Ghost fan. And Tobias does that with his whole Papa Emeritus thing. And every cycle, they reimagine the whole band and a storyline and everything else like that. So, I know that you are real big into the theatrics. And do you feel like there's still a place for theatrical bands and music, or do you feel like it's been completely blown out of proportion and overdone?
Well, I just saw a thing on Facebook which had a picture of Alice Cooper next to somebody who obviously copied Alice Cooper, in a sense, or got the whole thing from Alice Cooper. Wait, what was the question?
Do you feel like theatrical bands still have a place in today's music?
Well, they do with me for sure, because I'm very theatric, as you said. I don't know if you can tell by the light show here. I'm trying to get this light show together here. This is kind of like the interplanetary beam from Saturn I've got going on. But I think they should have more of a theatric. I know we were asked to do Wednesday 13. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they're very theatric. Yeah,
very much. I have seen them live probably 20, 25 times.
Oh, wow. But they offered me that show at the big rock club here, which is like a big stage. The only thing they're going to charge me is $650 just to open for them. So I didn't like that, so I didn't do it. But there's one that's a theatric rock band, and people seem to love it, right? I think people want a show, they want to go out and see something special. Maybe not the guy that just lives down the street. There is that too. There's a crowd for everything, but people. I found even if I play the smallest town and where they have skidoo races for the biggest thing happening there, skidoo. So they still love me. They don't love me, but they love the show. Maybe they might like me, but they love that kind of show with theatrics and hopefully some good lights and some costumes and stuff. Well, I get my band dressing in black, and I tell them, you got to wear some black shit under your eyes, man. And the more black shit you can wear under your eyes, the more psychotic you'll look. So wear some black shit.
Those of you that are watching, there's actually quite a few people watching right now. We actually have one of Ted's music videos that we're going to play at the end of the show. So you'll actually be able to see him and his band and what they do best.
Oh, wow.
And
Thank you.
hopefully you'll pick up some more fans by the end of this show.
Great. Can always use more fans. I like to call them fangs, my fangs.
Okay.
I have a TEDx fan club and TEDx fan group. And that's on Facebook. And I call it Fake Book. And the nature of what Fake Book is, of course, they're all women over 80 or whatever it is. But they're all fangs of TEDx fangs. So I kind of, trying to brand myself. I guess it just happened by itself, kind of a branding of the Count of Rock and fangs instead of fangs. It's kind of like Lady Gaga with her little monsters.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I'm not a big Lady Gaga fan, really, but I did recently record, and my producer, I said I got we entered a contest called, it's like America's Got Talent, but it's Canada's Got Talent.
Right.
So we did that a couple of years ago, and to enter it, I did one of my own songs, and the casting director wrote back and he said, "Why don't you do something cross genre, like a new hit, kind of rock it up?" So I went through the new hits and I couldn't find anything I liked at all. So I went back a year, a couple, like, I guess 20 years now, and picked Born This Way by Lady Gaga. So, well, that's cross genre for me because I would never do that.
Right.
So I did that, and we didn't get in to the show. Mostly it's like circus acts and stuff, just like America's Got Talent.
Right.
We didn't get any, but I did keep the song, and we recorded it recently. So I got that. I think I mailed the MP3 to you guys.
Yeah.
Born This Way by Lady Gaga. So so we're doing that, and yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Oh,
I got you. All right, CB, you up on deck, brother?
All right. What is the craziest thing you've ever had to encounter when going on tour, going on a show? What's the craziest thing you've done or seen?
This chick came up to me. It was when we were doing the Ramones thing. I think it was in Flint, Michigan, and it was my birthday. And somehow she got wind of it. She comes with like a piece of birthday cake with a candle in it, and I go, "Oh, isn't this cool?" I go right up to her. I said, "I was about to say thank you so much." She smudges it in my eye. The cake, the whole birthday cake. So, yeah, I got that, and so I thought I went a bit crazy on stage. At that point, I started smearing the icing all into my PA speakers and just going a bit crazy with it. But I thought that was kind of a bit cruel. I don't know if it was the craziest thing, but it just came to mind now as one of the things that happened to me. And yeah, so the craziest thing, that could have been maybe a number of things. I'd have to think back on that one. Yeah.
We've heard some shit. We've heard as far as like bands having real blood dumped on them.
Oh no.
Which
to somebody throwing up in a mosh pit and sliding in his own throw up.
Oh yeah,
that's another one.
Yep, we've heard that too.
Yeah,
those are nice.
I do remember that one.
You've never heard the birthday cake. This will be the first birthday cake one.
That was the first birthday cake.
Okay, good.
That was the first birthday cake.
Excellent.
Like, I haven't brought this up. There was a couple of years ago. I was not there, but a buddy of mine was. And he was up front center for it and had the whole thing on fucking camera and sent me the clips of it. So anybody knows I live pretty close to one of the biggest festivals in the United States, Welcome to Rockville, which I'll be going to this year.
Excellent.
A couple of years ago, I can't remember what band it was, but this chick brought this man up on stage.
Right.
Had him lay down. She dropped her pants.
I knew what you were going to say.
and she pissed
Oh,
all over his face.
okay. At least it's number one.
And all in his mouth. Yeah,
Damn.
number one. What number two? Number one. We ain't going 2 girls, 1 cup here. But-
Oh, you had to fucking say that.
Oh, that trauma.
No shit.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
you can say that again.
but this girl got ass of shit because, like, welcome to Rockville. They're still like kids. Okay, you can get away with like cussing and all that shit, but come on, it's a festival. Like anybody's allowed. There's still children out in the crowd,
Yeah.
and you
Hello.
just
What?
piss all over this man's face on stage.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. I've heard some wild shit and I've seen some wild shit in all of my years of touring and going to shows and all the shit that I've done. I have never seen something to that extent.
Oh my God. I never have either.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, good God, really?
You still gave me trauma with the freaking "thou shalt not be named" shit. But good God,
What the gas station sushi?
Oh no, I was talking about what you just said that gave both of me and CB fucking trauma.
Well, I mean, I wasn't there, but I did see the video, and it was pretty bad. Although she did have a nice ass, I will say that. Nice, great ass.
That would be a good name. That would be a good name for a band. Gas Station Sushi. I like that.
You do not. All right, no. You
Oh,
gotta
I'll do that.
No, I'm not going that story.
Yep, you tell a story.
Oh, you're going on with the next question. That's what you're doing.
Well, fine then. Well, given the fact that you thought that one of Jags's question was pretty hard, I'm gonna give you a doozy. What is your fantasy band? I'm talking about singer, drummer, guitarist, bassist, whatever the fuck you want.
No. He's the singer. It's who.
He could have picked to somebody else. I don't know. But anyway, what is your fantasy band?
Any band that's ever been or
Any person alive or dead.
If you could put together your dream band,
right?
Okay, yeah, it's more simplified.
Full of pro players that you
Right.
got to play with.
Uh-huh.
Who would you choose to play with? Who would you hand pick if you could pick anyone?
Well, I don't know about that. I was like, my favorite band used to be the New York Dolls, but they're all dead.
Are they all dead now?
They're all dead now. Yeah, the singer just died.
God damn! I thought there were still 1 or 2 still alive.
Yeah, I
Oh,
got to work with the guitarist Sil Sylvain in L.A. He produced something for me, but the singer just died. Yeah, so they're all dead. So the New York Dolls used to be my favorite band. I think Alice Cooper was my favorite band before them. And then, as I said, I walked with the Mr. David B. I think his wife used to call him the Great One. His wife that didn't end up so well, divorced, I think. And the Great One. But I remember walking into a record store and there was something playing, and it was the Ziggy Stardust album, and they had it propped up there, and the guy had red hair with that cut. And I was looking at the image, I asked the guy, I said, "Who's that?" So I used to go to the record stores to be able to leaf through albums. Just leaf through. And that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, no.
So, so it have to be a toss-up between Alice Cooper band, which was a great band, and they were kind of glam beef. I think even before the New York Dolls. Probably. Then it was the New York Dolls, and then it was Bowie, Iggy. So I really kind of just kept to my favorite 4. The first band that I really wanted to be like was the Beatles, and then it was the Stones. And you'd have the Stones were the bad ones, and the Beatles were kind of the good ones. And we used to get Beatles cards, like bubble gum with a certain Beatle card, and these are like thousands of these Beatles cards you would be able to get. And so yeah, it's the Beatles, the Stones. Those were like the big two. And I was just remarking to somebody the other day that when I grew up, there was always a Beatle album because I grew up in those years, those 10 years of Beatles. So it was always something to look forward to, and the kind of, that you live your life according to what Beatles album was released at that time. Yeah. So the fantasy band would have to be an amalgamation of all those bands together.
Good God.
Super band.
All right.
From all corners of the world.
Yeah.
I got that. So, how important to you is album artwork?
Is album artwork?
Yeah, is that something that you still find very important as part of putting out an album or putting out, a single or whatever? Do you focus on the artwork at all, or are you just kind of like one of those ones that's like, because it's virtual, artwork really doesn't fucking matter anymore?
Yeah, well, usually you do some of my paintings or drawings for the artwork. So I figure if it's a reflection of me, then the person getting the record should at least have that part of me as well. And I know recently I was into I remember the album covers Hypnosis. They did a lot of album covers back in the 70s, and they were this company that always had these great album covers. And like it was Pink Floyd and all these bands would have these covers by Hypnosis. It was like these surreal photographs kind of thing. I think it's very important. How about you guys?
Oh, I fucking love it.
It's like I tell everybody, growing up, obviously, whenever I was a kid, the CD stores were still around. Vinyl was still out. I mean, right. I think when I first started getting into music, 8 tracks were still out. But the vinyls were still there. Right. And the CDs were just starting to come out. I used to choose CDs and vinyls strictly off of the album artwork.
That's right. That's what we used to do, yeah.
There's so many bands that I discovered just because of that. Like I'd walk in and look for the heavy metal section, hard rock section, and just look at the album artwork and be like, oh, that's badass. I'm going to fucking buy that. I don't know who the fuck this is, but I'm going to buy it. And
is it because the picture of the band was on the front or whatever?
No, it was just wild ass, artwork that was on the front. I think like some of the bands that I discovered through that, like Rob Zombie, White Zombie, was one of those that I found by just based off of their album artwork. It was just crazy, and I liked it, and I dug it, so I fucking picked it up. Tool is another one that I found out about that I seen their album artwork, and I picked it up. It was like, oh, that's cool. Picked it up, went home, listened to it, fucking fell in love with the band, and started following them ever since. Just solely based off of their album artwork.
Right.
I had never heard them before. Never heard the name of the band before. But there's their album, and the front of the cover looked badass. Fuck it. I'm going to give it a shot.
Right.
I'd pick it up and go. But we've interviewed a lot of bands that are like, oh, we're in the virtual days, so we don't have to worry about fucking album artworking.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then they don't release any vinyl anyway. So
exactly. And see, for people like me, I'm a little bit older. I'm in my 40s. Yeah. I still collect vinyl. I still like fucking vinyl records. And I get super excited about like one of the bands that put out some of the greatest album artwork I've ever seen is fucking Ghost. Ghost has these amazing fucking artwork and even the vinyl is amazing itself.
Right.
And is a work of art.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you don't really see a lot of people these days that have an appreciation for that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about that Ziggy Stardust album. It was the album cover that definitely got me to buy it. I heard the music and then I thought Life on Mars, and I thought, oh, well, this guy kind of, the whole thing goes together.
Oh, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Mosh, what you got?
Oh, so if you could put one of your songs in a movie, what would it be?
Oh, well, I'd have to say Dracula, the last version. Yeah.
Now, are we going like which Dracula though? Because we can go multiple Draculas here.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I guess it was the one from about now, it's 20 years ago. So be
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I get what you mean on that one because like my
Winona Ryder was it?
Dracula
Winona Ryder.
Oh no, it wouldn't be Dracula 2000. Hell no.
You know that Bram Stoker?
Huh?
Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Yeah, not the last one. Not the most recent one. Bram Stoker's Dracula.
No. There
Gary
was
Oldman
in the comments that said
Gary
Dracula.
Oldman.
That was Bram Stoker's Dracula. That was a great one.
Yeah.
But I actually like the old school vampire movies and stuff like that myself.
Right.
I can't help it. But
those are the best.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But I'd have to say something like that. I just recently did one called Little Vampire Girl, and somebody wrote that underneath it saying, oh, that would be in a cool movie. That would be a good soundtrack, a good song in a dark movie. Definitely the black and white stuff was far superior.
Oh yeah, a lot of it was. Lot of it was.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like my favorite Godzillas were the old school black and white.
I know. I really like the Dracula that what was it called? I think it was like Dracula Untold or something.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was badass.
Right.
I agree with you that it was badass, but I'm not too big of a fan of that one.
Oh, I loved it. I fucking loved it. So speaking of horror movies and being that you're kind of in the spooky shit, what is hands down your favorite horror film you've ever seen?
Yeah. Now I remember the best Dracula movie. It was The Return of Count Yorga. That's my favorite horror movie of all time. Return of Count Yorga.
I don't think I've seen
from
that.
the 70s.
Okay.
By International Pictures. I can't remember the guy's name in it.
I can't remember it either, and I had it on VHS.
Yeah, Count Yorga, The Return of Count Yorga. What it is, it's like a modern day. He returns to the modern day, and he's right next to an orphanage. So you can imagine he's got endless amount of. Robert Quarry was the name of the actor.
Ah, okay.
Quarry, yeah. So he looked the best, I thought. Since
I wasn't thinking of Robert.
I'm so into image that Robert Quarry, and these were the days when you just see it on the big screen, so it intensified the effect a million times. You'd go into a theater and see the fangs look like 50 stories high, just the guy's fangs. So kind of.
I miss the old drive-in theaters. I mean, we still have some around here, but I miss those.
We have a drive-in theater, a double feature right down the street from where I live.
Wow.
I got one mile down the street from me.
We've got two screens, and each screen every night you get two movies, and it's $7 a car.
Excellent.
and you go in, you pay the $7,
Yeah.
and you get 2 movies, whatever screen it's on, screen A or screen B.
Yeah.
They literally like barbecue outside, hamburgers, hot dogs, chili dogs, fucking whatever the hell you want. They've got all the candy in like the old school boxes of like,
Right.
Dude, you're making my fat ass hungry.
Oh yeah, they've got it all still, and
Now,
it's
do
like,
people still sneak into drive-ins in the back?
oh fuck yeah, they stick them bitches in the trunk.
Yeah, that was what we used to do. Yeah.
Hell yeah, they fit like fucking 15 people in a damn Honda Civic.
Damn.
That shit becomes a damn clown car.
Yep.
Absolutely.
They're all suffocating in the back now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So on that, everybody, we have ran out of time, but if you stick around, we are playing one of Ted Axe's song. This is the music video for Isolate. We love you guys. We will see you again tomorrow for a version of Plugged In. We'll be playing all your favorite music videos from bands all over the world.
Oh,
And
wow.
until then, we love you guys. Go check out Ted
Thanks
Axe.
so much.
Absolutely.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you.
Go check
Thanks,
him
you
out.
guys.
Facebook,
Thank you very much. Cheers.
thing, and we are out of here. Have a good night.
Be safe.